Crowley,
Present.
Councilman Frazier,
Present.
Councilman Gronwell,
Here.
Thanks everyone, rise to salute the flag. You too. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right, we have a motion to approve the February 9th minutes.
Motion to approve February 9th minutes.
Chad moved.
Second.
Terry second. Any corrections or comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried. Anybody got anything for privilege of the floor? You haven't heard anything from anybody from communications. Communications on file with the town clerk, distributed to the town board members. Anybody have any? The Genesee Finger Lakes Regional Climate Action Plan. I made a notation on there. If somebody didn't get it in an email, because I don't know who they all are sending it to, because it's, it's got an email distribution about 10 miles long. If you want it, I will forward it to you, but it's like 91 pages. So that's why I didn't print. All right. Moving on to reports, town clerk.
paying to the supervisor for the general fund, $165.26. For water billing, $3,715.42. Decals, $47.24, and animal population control fund, $5, for a total disbursement of $39.32.92.
Someone like to move the town clerk's financial report.
I'll move.
Mark moved, Chad second. Any other questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. I don't have a report from the historian, although she left me a message that she wants to sit down with me. She's got some ideas of a couple of things she wants to do and wants to bring the information to me. And bring it to you guys or see if it's okay to go forward. I don't know exactly what it is at the moment. But she wants to work on something, so. Code enforcement officer. Oh, no Joe. Is he up there?
No, Joe.
No, okay. Remember, he gave me this thing because he went over and actually did the formal inspection of unsafe structure for the house next door that we own. We went through it with Jeremy, and there's some things I'm gonna mark of furniture and some things that we're gonna keep that are either in the garage. The garage is gonna stay up. Eventually, we'll get some new doors. They're gonna move the stuff out of the garage, do stone in the floor, put some pallets down to move whatever furniture that we're keeping into the garage, and straighten the floor out a little bit and button that up over there. And so the unsafe structure, but I incorporated into this. Normally with an unsafe structure, we pass and we have to allow 30 days for the people to respond and have a public hearing. But since we own it, we are waiving the public hearing in the 30-day period. And the resolution is for us to go ahead, weather and time permitting, for the highway department is going to take it down. Oh, good. Oh. So we will.
You want electric removed from.
Yes.
The overhead electric.
Yeah, we gotta get the electric removed, but they're gonna take it down, so our cost will be dumpsters and stuff like that. So that's what this resolution is, but to, go forward with demolishing a building. We did the inspection and he did the formal report.
Beautiful. Do we have to do anything to cover the labor from the general fund, or are we good?
We do have some in for buildings for the highway department, but if we have to, we can move things around.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll keep track of labor.
Yeah,
Labor on that, so.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and
Get some of that orange safety fence, put around
Put
the
around
basement after we're done, until we.
Backfill it.
Filled in, so.
Like the snow fence stuff?
yeah,
Yeah.
Could have its own septic and well.
yeah, that'll all be, the septic's gonna be, the septic's gonna be filled.
Built in, okay.
Okay, the well's still there, but It probably has nothing been pumped out of it in ages, so I wouldn't even wanna.
Is it a drilled well or dug well? It's an old house.
It's drilled.
It's drilled, yeah, it's got the drilled casing
Between
there.
the house and the garage.
Yep, yep, it's right there behind the house. Yep. So, someone like to move that resolution?
I just have a quick question.
Yep.
How are we disposing of that oil tank that's in the basement?
At the moment, we think it's empty because it's floating.
In the
And there's
basement.
2 feet of water that's down there.
They weigh up to 100 pounds, so if it's floating, it's probably empty.
But they're seeing that there's 2 feet of water down there. Nobody has really gone down to investigate.
They only weigh up 100 pounds, so my guess is if it's floating, it's empty.
I think at one point in time, I think what happened is it ran out and then we just chose never to refill it. Is what happened. It chose because nobody was going over there and using anything, so we just chose not to refill it.
That makes sense. And it's safe enough to get the stuff out of there
Yes,
to go, okay.
yeah, yeah. The few things, yeah, fight off the squirrels and the chipmunks. Of course, you wanna see something? I went out into my shed to look for something. My shed looks worse than the inside of that house right now. Somehow they've gotten in there and I have got more black walnuts and acorn and stuff in the bottom of my shed, all over my shed right now. But fortunately,
It's been there.
once
Oh, I know.
They probably heard you were kicking them out of the store, you know.
they moved downhill. All right, any other questions?
What's the time frame on the demolition?
It all depends on their availability and weather.
Roughly?
We're hoping by the end of April.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'd like to actually, beginning of April, as long as if weather breaks and it, I don't know if I can get
Equipment over there.
a week like this.
Yeah.
You know, and get some dumpsters lined up and we'll have it within probably 2 days, we'll have the thing taken down.
Thank you. Are the dumpsters on the county bid? I don't know.
Not on the county bid unless, maybe something on through the procurement office, but the materials bid that I work off of, there's nothing on the dumpster, so. Because we already have, service set up with Casella, I'm gonna reach out to them and, get them some, yeah, get a price from them.
Any other questions? Motion to move this one.
Motion to approve.
In a second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, all right, planning board, Ted.
Planning board met February 23rd. We didn't have any business, so we just had a little information exchange. That was all.
An easy one.
Easy. I think it was 20 minutes.
A new record?
I think it was, Chris.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think the zoning board had a meeting either.
I want to be. in
No, they didn't.
Okay, didn't think so.
Back.
Jeremy,
this.
in all my years, this has to be the shortest report I've ever seen.
Well, the month of February is short to begin with, and other than snow removal, there wasn't a whole lot going on. Still waiting on trucks, so there was nothing to report there. So yeah, 20 flow salt runs since, the February board meeting. With the full fleet, 4 with, just a truck or 2. So I gave you total numbers, so for this winter season, we're at 121 runs so far. 68 of them being after January 1st. And I also gave you some comparison numbers for previous years. So obviously, we're way above 24 and 23 with 75 total runs and 74.
Jeremy, I'd like to make a personal request for next month. Could you put the 25, 26 number of plowing runs down versus the average? And the reason I'm asking.
That
This
121
is
is,
the one.
that is where we're
Yeah,
at.
we're not done yet.
Right,
We're not done yet.
right.
Okay.
We're not done. Yes, I got that. Yes, I got that. But I
Well, let's
suspect
hope
you're
we're
gonna
done.
have a few more.
Oh, I've had 2 more since I wrote this report, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I just.
Mainly for ice.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know, the reason, well, I care about the town, but I take care of Joe Bear Drive. I mean, private plowing. And I've never had that many runs. Never had that many flowing events before. This winter,
Oh. man.
so.
It
You would
was-
be collateral because my neighbors are gonna complain when they see.
Yeah. So my salt delivery issues, I have both of my orders that I were waiting on have been delivered. So currently we're probably got about 1,000 tons over there in the building. Did place and receive a 4,500 gallon order of the Magic Minus Zero that we pre-treat the salt with. And everything has been pre-treated. So we have a couple of usual suspects of pipes, cross pipes that freeze on us every year. Mostly over on Old Bald Hill South, because that western wind blows right into the end of the pipes and it just
Plugs them right
plugs
up.
them right up. So we said spend a couple days over there trying to get the ice out of the end of them so the water would flow, because of the ditch is on the opposite side and the ditch fills up with water to the point where one of them, luckily, there's an overflow pipe fairly close by and water was running to that. Otherwise, it would have been out in the road. Filled some potholes. We did that today. We filled some potholes up on the dirt road today. Up until just recently, the ground's been so frozen, there's sign work that we need to do, but you can forget about driving anything in the ground right now. Well, now you might be able to, but
Well, if you get down far enough, you still might
Yeah.
not be able to. I haven't thought it all the way down yet.
so the well pump died over there. So I had to call, Dansville Water Systems, is who we normally use. The guy who does their well pump installations was out on a shoulder surgery. So they weren't able to help us, so I called Valley Mechanical and they were actually really nice to deal with it. Within a day, they were up and had us taken care of. I did meet with the county Public Works on Friday to discuss the 37 project out here. A lot of drainage going in. There's probably gonna be some issues with residents, just to keep you aware of some of the things, because there's already ongoing issues with them and it's not gonna really address much of that. And they are gonna go ahead and change the Birch Hill Road intersection. So instead of having that come in like a Y, it's gonna turn and come in 90 degrees to County Road 37.
The county's doing it themselves or?
They're doing it, yep, well, no, it'll
Well,
be
they
contracted.
contract out.
This is good one to
He
be.
said it was like a $5 million project from this intersection to just around the corner past Mill Road. Just due to the amount of drainage work that is involved in the project.
Did they do a line of sight thing with doing that to there with that right there?
That was my major concern. And they said they did. That was my major concern, why I voiced my opinion regarding that, because I think it's gonna cause a problem. There hasn't been any accidents at that intersection. At the intersection, there was that motorcycle accident.
Yeah, but that was
That had
something
nothing
totally
to do with
different.
the intersection.
Yeah, they had nothing to do with the intersection.
And so is the reason that they're doing the work, the drainage?
Drainage, the road condition. And
They're trying to make all roads more of a T as opposed
yeah,
to,
that's
Right, the why.
that's
Lights and
the
stuff.
national standard,
yeah,
which is.
and in some, and then putting them crazy roundabouts in.
Right,
Which is kind of the opposite, okay, so you've got these Y things that actually create a glancing accident if you have a glancing accident, which is why they're changing four-way intersections to roundabouts, so it's not a head-on or a side thing, it's a glancing one. Well, you got a glancing, now you're gonna make it a broadside.
Right.
Hello.
So they're doing this end and Middle Road end or just this end?
They're doing from the intersection right here to around the corner, just
They're
past.
changing are they doing the one, both the middle road and Birch?
Middle road is staying exactly the way it is.
Staying the way it is, just birch.
Just Birch Hill, yep.
They're gonna make that a 90?
They're gonna 90-degree it into 37.
You know what?
So
They
they
gotta-
gotta bring it down closer to.
Why don't they just
Yeah.
close it off and make them turn down
Right,
middle?
right.
I offered that as a suggestion. The only person who it would affect is Neil, because he's got a field access.
But wait a
Oh,
minute,
there.
Birch Road is our road, it's not their
That's our
road,
Right,
and they're gonna change the Birch Road.
yep.
Oh, maybe not.
That's why he got the heated email last week.
Yeah, no, I would rather see it just past that house, just make the road go away. And then just make that, it's a dead end and they have to turn and come at it down over there farther.
Coming
Yep,
from Middle Road.
come in middle road.
When you say.
And it's farther away from that thing, the line of sight is a whole hell of a lot better both ways.
You say
Yes.
Neil, are you talking about this farmer?
Yeah.
What would you do for him? Cause that's difficult.
His field access is right there off of Birch, so he'd have to drive all the
Right,
way
he's
down the
gotta
Middle
dig
Road and
around.
come all the way back. In
Well,
order to
couldn't
get
he-
into his field.
Couldn't he go up the driveway where the tower is?
That's how he accesses the field that's directly across the street.
Yeah, but
from
the-
the highway barns, but there's a swamp that goes through there and separates that.
But isn't the driveway for that's not all the way up onto Birch, that's actually almost at the end of Birch at the end of it, isn't it?
It's right.
For the tower,
75 feet.
The tower is directly across the street from the
highway drive,
highway garage,
and the
yeah.
driveway going up to it.
Okay,
So couldn't he go up that driveway to get to his field?
there's a swamp that goes through there and cuts his field in half.
So instead of them doing all that work on Birch Hill, I'd rather see him put a damn,
Put in the pipe.
put a pipe and cover it and make him a roadway to get across.
Exactly, for him, do a culvert for the farmer, yeah.
Gotta be cheaper than reconstructing that.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Good.
I'm over there on Wednesday anyways for a meeting, so. I'll give a heads
Yeah,
up.
I'm sure, so there's
It makes much more sense.
there's a new guy that bought the house that's right next to the barns. And I know he wasn't thrilled with it because now the intersection's gonna come 90 degrees, right?
To his
Right.
driveway.
Facing his house, so.
So the headlights are gonna
all the
be there.
headlights will be shining directly into his house.
Can he burn it?
Burn the house?
No. Yeah, right.
That's a whole other issue over there.
Part of their plan is to add 10, 12 more feet to their highway right away so they can make the ditch compliant so they don't have to put guide rail up all the way around through there.
What is their projected time frame on that? Did they let you know? Were they still in
April 1st of next year.
next year?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right. I don't want them to, figuring they're gonna be starting July 1st this year or something, to get a
April
change like
1st of
that.
next year.
Okay. All right. You might have a design change before then.
Yeah, we're gonna have another meeting at some point.
I just think it makes far more sense and it'll be less costly and a lot safer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in any way, shape or form. So you just dead end
Right.
Birch. Let Neil access that, put a culvert and put a road, then put just stone
Mhm.
over so that he can get over off of the access to the tower
Yep.
to get to the other side of his field. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't disagree.
okay,
We're gonna go to battle.
okay.
Anything more on the bridge replacement on 36?
They are waiting for the town of Richmond's floodplain permit. And they're ready to go. They want to start right now.
They wanted to do, Mike Baker told Joe, they wanted an intermunicipal agreement between Canadice and Richmond for the floodplain permits. And Joe and I talked for a while and I'm like, no. Joe's certified to do floodplain permits, do our floodplain permits, let Richmond go through whatever process they go through for their floodplain permit. There's no reason, this is a county project. There's no reason for Richmond and Canadice to have an intermunicipal agreement. They want an intermunicipal agreement, it's gotta be with the county. So that's where it stands, because they don't have anybody down there to certify their floodplain permits. There's nobody done for it. So they use an engineering firm.
Ooh.
So whoever's doing the project had to come and fill out the floodplain permit to the code enforcement officer. The code enforcement officer has to send it to their engineering, whoever they use for an engineer. And,
So Ramsey's being held up by the whole job.
well, they weren't supposed to start till April first.
Right.
However, they got done someplace else earlier and they wanted to start. So they could start on this side of the road.
Yeah, there's trees that had to get cut down.
They can start on our side of the road. They just can't start on the other side of the road. But anyways, so that's kind of where that one's at right now, but probably by the beginning of April, that'll be the light with the one lane going both ways.
The DEC's contractor was down at the transfer station and drilled the 3 wells that they needed to drill. And as far as I know, they haven't been back to do any water sampling or anything like that just yet, but that's what it is.
Nothing went into them and nothing leaks into them and they're just dry bones.
That's all I have.
Alrighty,
Thank you.
I have some questions.
yep,
Even I'm driving, I do, first of all, I have to commend our highway department. They do a great job. Our roads are always much cleaner than everyone else's and I love it. But today while I was driving around, I noticed like just driving down the road, all the dust flying behind me, like on everyone else's roads, but not ours. Like, why is that? Is that the new plow blades? Is that?
The amount of salt they use.
Like, it's ridiculous, the intersections that are just like overflowing with salt and not ours.
they're over salting.
Because
Yeah.
we consciously try to use what the job takes.
Sensible
Great
salting.
job. You guys are doing.
And your trucks are all calibrated too.
Yep, every truck's calibrated, so we know.
How much is going out?
Oh, if we don't need to use that much, I tell the guys, all right,
Kick it back.
run 200 pounds lane mile instead of like the 350 that we normally run.
The big thing I noticed is going between like, I mean, I live on the Lake Road, so I go through Honeyway section and then ours, and I can immediately tell when I get to Canadice how much cleaner the roads are.
He still runs sand on the Honeyway section. He's still running sand in his truck, so that's part of the reason why you're seeing dust too. Yeah.
Cornell today was terrible, like their roads just covered in salt.
We started the winter running sand mix until we used up what we had in the barns, and then we're just running straight salt right now.
The sand started getting ugly.
Slimy.
It was
Slimy. The
Yeah.
sand actually freezes to the road sometimes more than the snow does.
and the sand was the
Yeah.
quality of the sand was not like it used to be.
Right.
And it was,
And
yeah,
you gotta all the cleanup in the springtime, you gotta
Thank
wait
you.
until it rains to run around with the broom tractor and be able to clean it up, otherwise you create a dust cloud, so.
We appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
anything else?
No.
Okay, Terry.
Contrary to what I thought a week ago, the ice went up in the lake yesterday afternoon. In one afternoon. So, which is pretty typical for the last 3 years is early March. Now, if I go back 10, 15, 20 years ago, ice out date was the last week of March, first week of April, so. I sent you, everyone here, an email with our task force winter newsletter, something that we've been working with our various partners on since last November, so hopefully you all had a chance to look at that. See what's going on. And week before last, Dorothy and I went to State College, Pennsylvania to attend the annual Pennsylvania Lake Management Society Conference. acronym poems. Dorothy says I should be truthful. Our oldest daughter and her husband are on Penn State faculty, State College. So it's a chance to visit her. Her and son-in-law.
Multitasking,
You
multitasking.
know, but two interesting things. One, Pennsylvania lakes basically had the same weather effect that we did here with Honeoye Lake. It was a drought, strong stratification, so it was kind of reassuring to see that. And unfortunately, there were no breakthroughs in the way of whole lake phosphorus reduction techniques. And moving right along, I just got two things I want to highlight for the Honeoye Valley Association, particularly for Kate and Eileen. The annual roadside cleanup is scheduled for Saturday, May 2nd. And Eileen, as soon as I get a flyer in a week, 10 days, I will send it to you to post on your bulletin boards on the website.
Okay.
And the HVA has raised over $1,000 for a Don Cook Memorial Scholarship, which will go to a deserving senior at the Honeoye Central School, who's planning to go to college to study environmental science.
Beautiful.
That is my quick update.
All right, anybody have any questions? The assessor's report been copied to everyone. She's been very busy since the impact statements went out. We did have one gentleman that Jeremy is very familiar with come in and create quite a ruckus here. Joe did record him on his phone. Joe's pulling out the sections of it I went because one of the statements that he made is he was going to exercise his Second Amendment rights.
Perfect.
Ooh. So, when I get that from Joe, when I talked to him, when I was talking to him on Friday. When I get that from Joe, I will be contacting the Sheriff's Department.
They know him very well.
Yes, they do, but this is stuff now.
3 times they visited.
Yeah, well, this, with him standing in the town hall threatening people and saying he's gonna exercise his Second Amendment rights. That's a viable threat. So I will be turning that over to the Sheriff's Department as soon as Joe sends it to me.
Does she have a working panic button?
Give it right to,
We had one for each.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
give it right to the other
But
sheriff.
Joe was right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe was right here and stuff. And like I say, he started, after he heard him starting, calling everybody and
Yep.
names and useless and assorted other things. Cause he came in, how he started with Holly is apparently he's on a land contract with the house. He doesn't actually own it. So Holly sent the impact statement to the owner of the home, and the owner of the home apparently gave it to him. Mr. Belmont, is it Belmont?
Babcock.
Babcock,
Oh, yes, okay.
gave it to him. He come in here ranting and raving that why was it sent to him and how Joe says Holly kept her cool completely and just said, by law, it has to go to the property owner. She's following the law. That's where it had to go. And then he proceeded to keep right on going and said the next time he's not going to step out of the way of the plow. He's going to exercise his Second Amendment rights. So between some of the videotape from the
They have two.
trucks,
What's he meaning by that? Second Amendment just says you can carry a gun.
well, he's going to use his
He's gonna
gun.
use it.
He's going to use it.
Yeah, give that right to the undersheriff.
Yeah.
He's got all of my information.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I've been dealing directly with him.
Joe was gonna I told him to email it to me so I could email it over there to them to watch. So, yeah. All right. Water District.
Nothing out of the ordinary for February. The gallons pumped were down about 100,000 gallons. I did look and the number of pumps were different last year to this year, which explains the variance. So like I say, nothing to report right now. Everything's normal.
All Cool. All right, we got January's and February's monthly report. We closed the books. I've contacted MMB. We're looking at probably sometime towards the end of April of them showing up to do the audit for the 25 books. So Krista and I, they're gonna be sending us a list. We're gonna start getting all the information ready. So we got it all closed.
So on these two reports, I thought the budget was the same, report to report.
The budget should be, yes.
But if one's for 25 and one's for
No,
26.
these are both for 26, January 26, February 26.
Okay, that was my question.
Yeah.
Okay, so we haven't seen the final for 2025 yet. Right, because you're still processing. stuff.
Right,
Love it,
yeah, yeah.
love it. Motion to approve.
Second.
And all in favor? Aye. Got the one resolution, which is just the housekeeping that goes with the water district, the resolution to move the 30,800 into the reserve that's required by rural development controllers, and as we call the controllers about a couple of things with the reserve accounts. And to make it match, because Williamson Law Book has still not done changes to their program so that it actually matches the now AFRs, annual financial report, not AUDs. And their question was, how long is this supposed to be for? And we pulled the records, and it's for the length of the loan,
Right.
which is
Like the-
35 years. So, the state controller wasn't really thrilled with that. And, but I said to him, we haven't developed the plan. I want to talk to the company from the water tank, because periodically the water tanks have to be
Replaced.
yeah, well, not just replace. Usually you don't have to replace them, but they have to be relined, things done to them, and those can be pretty costly.
Mhm.
So, a long-term capital project with figuring out an inflation factor in there of what it would cost now and where they expect we would have to do it. And then obviously, ultimately, anytime there's any major
Exactly.
capital changes that have to be done. So we'll get that done, and it'll make them happy. So he motion to put the money where it belongs.
Make the motion?
Mark, and second,
I'll second.
all in favor? Aye, opposed. I just
And
decided.
just to clarify, you abstained on the January and February report, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome. I just, with the new program and stuff like that, I just figured it would behoove to distribute to everybody your new destructions.
Cool. And they've been tested by several people and worked well.
Works good for
And
us.
I think I put another one into the planning board box and another one into the
Picked it up.
ZBA box and stuff, so I made sure everybody had them around besides the one that's sitting here.
Great.
So, anybody have anything other that I missed, maybe on old business? Okay, new business, resolution of sympathy for Mark Melmandier, who,
Nice job.
oh, thank you.
Nice job.
I was having a little why I didn't have it in the packets. I had started on it, and I was confused by some of the dates when they were going through the book that they gave me. So when Eileen got here, we got it straightened out and got it all done. So,
Motion to approve.
Sure.
any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I don't know, how many people went to, I know Eileen and I were at the service. I don't remember who else was there, but for those of you that were here when Mark was going through, Mark Erdl wasn't scheduled to speak, but they always ask if someone wants to speak, and it actually was kind of perfect because it left everything on a high note, if that's what you want to call a little bit. Mark Melmandier had an issue with kidney stones a while back. And after he went for the ultrasound, he sent us all pictures of it, and he named them all after the Rolling Stones. This was Mick, this was. And then after he had the first surgery, he ended up having to go back because he said while they were in there doing that, they decided they were gonna have to go back because some groupies were hiding behind the other stuff. And they were gonna have to go back and get the groupies. So, but it was. So it kind of lightened everything all up, but that was typical Mark. So that was, and I can't believe that Mark Ertl still had that email that he sent out because he printed it out and was holding it up, showing, this is the one he named this one this.
That's great.
But, okay, I put on here discussion on tiny homes. Bless you.
Thank you.
Thoughts, Ted, on tiny homes? Huh?
They're little.
They're little.
Can't stand up in them. We had kind of a brief discussion a while ago with Joe and others, they fall into the category of a single family residence.
Okay.
But some people have it in other areas, they site a tiny home on their own property. They put it on the back of their property and somebody else lives in it. So we don't know, under our zoning, that would not be allowed.
Right.
And so just potentially, we had someone here at the town board meeting several months ago.
Yes, we had.
Raising the issue.
Is that he called and he left me a message, which is what kind of what
Raising
generated
an
this
issue
thing.
about what are we doing about tiny homes, and so. I'm not sure where we left it, other than that we have regulations in place. And it may fall upon Joe Miller to do some enforcement.
Okay.
Or we modify our zoning code in some way. And, New York State is all up in arms over housing shortages, so tiny houses may come into the picture.
Shortages
As a
and
possibility.
affordable.
Right, affordability and.
I have a question. Right now, tiny homes under what we have are considered temporary housing, correct? Like you can only live in them during camper times, correct?
No.
No,
Okay.
They're considered a single family.
Okay,
residence.
Yeah.
okay,
And Joe would permit them
Sure.
as such, yes.
sure. I thought we talked about that.
No, that's an.
We got
that's
the RV
recreational-
thing. We got the recreational vehicle. That's a different one. Yep. Yeah.
That's what I was
Question or comment.
Okay, so I guess my question
So,
is to the board. Is that something, and it would obviously would be the rural district, it would have nothing to do with the Lakeshore district.
Was one of my questions.
Um,
Is it specific to some districts?
well, it's specific right now, what ours covers is the whole
right.
town. So basically, and we've got the part in there is, you're supposed to have one principal use
Right.
unless you have enough acreage to actually ultimately subdivide them and have two things. Do we want to look at modifying the code for the rural district to give guidelines as if they want to put in what and I've been looking at, just for shits and giggles, because I keep sending it to my son, granny pads, which is basically a tiny home on the kid's family. Do we want to look at the code to allow that and give that they have to have so much acreage and it has to have and get out in front before somebody,
So is there
We have
any
an issue.
precedents here? Richmond, Bristol, South Bristol, is there any precedent nearby?
I don't know. We'd have to look to see if there was, and if we decide to see if we want to put some regulations together, basically, if we turn it over to the planning board, they would
Right.
research and see what's out there.
Right.
So that's my question is, do we want to get it in there and get it in the code and be ahead of the curve like we have in the past with the solar and the, wind turbines and everything else and get something in there.
Right.
And now would be a good time if we're going to, because E-code is going to be going through our code. So if we're going to do any update, we could roll it right into that and contact an E-code to see if they've got any, general code to see if they've got anything might
Oh,
be.
any templates?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Just one point, Chad, some of these tiny homes are actually built on a trailer.
Yes,
Yeah,
movable.
yeah, and I think
They-
that's why I
so
asked.
They would be considered under
Under the
RV.
recreational.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's why I was
regulation.
asking that, because I thought we talked about if they were mobile, that they felt.
Some of them are,
recreation.
yeah, some of them are, so they would be under the different regulation.
And that's what I think maybe in our code, we need to make clearly define that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because there was a case where there was a tiny home on wheels. And I think Joe had to explain to the folks that they couldn't live there full time.
It's somewhere in town.
It's Twin Bay,
Twin Bay.
Yeah.
Twin Bay, yeah. I remember that. That was,
Yeah.
yeah, right as Joe was starting.
So, I guess I'm looking, is the consensus to do a referral to the planning board to look into updating and coming up rural district? I mean, there's no place for them down in the Lake Shore district. Shape or form in the recreational vehicles, but then come up with a definition that if something is classified as a tiny home, if it's mobile, it falls under the recreational vehicles.
Right,
And get that clearly defined in there,
right.
okay?
And as you're looking, are there other towns that,
Yeah, that would be a starting point,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah, they usually,
actually, I think the Adirondacks have code for tiny homes. I will bet you a quarter we could find something easily
Big spender.
in one of the, I know.
I've seen it.
It's a big spender.
Even around Watkins Glen,
Yeah,
they're around Watkins Glen too.
okay.
so
That's just the-
I'll put something
Yeah,
formal to
something
you
formal to us. And,
Yep. and,
Are you thinking of a research group or just a planning board subcommittee? or-
you go which way you wanna go. I'll send it to you and then your board can decide if you wanna do a side research group to begin with before it comes to you or whether, you know, depending on what you guys got going on, if you just wanna kick it around together.
Formalize it and
Yes,
There's
Okay.
also a community in the Ithaca area.
yeah,
That-
right.
It has tiny homes.
Yeah,
They're all tiny
Yeah.
homes. Yeah, I've seen the
Yeah.
video on that.
so, yeah, that might be another place to look.
There you go.
Mhm.
all right, we will do that. Like I said, I'd rather be ahead of the curve than
Tiny.
get into a situation with somebody.
Yeah, it's.
Doing
it's
something
ill
else.
defined.
500,
It's ill defined right now.
500 is a huge home.
Yeah.
Why is it?
These are single family home, why do we have?
Less than 200.
I could probably point down several of them that already exist.
Because
Yeah,
they're trying
But
to,
it's
some
there.
of them are trying to put them under the square footage so that they're small enough.
There's some on County Road 33.
Things and,
Oh,
That's why I think-
I see.
yeah.
Oh, I see. So they're calling it like a shed and,
yeah,
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
that's
If
basically
it's
what
under
they are, but
200
they're
square
making,
feet, they can,
Yep.
okay, I see, now I see what you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
So we need
Today,
to-
you can buy a Mortensen building and it's a tiny home. It's all set up, ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we
Yeah.
put a 12 by 12 shed, you could get away with calling that a tiny home and that
Absolutely.
you don't even need a building permit for that.
so,
Right,
yep.
right.
Yeah, so, get it,
I see.
But
Tightened
it
up.
would still be subject to electrical and plumbing.
Yeah.
We.
we need to get it buttoned up.
Joe more about that already.
Yeah,
12 by 12, how high?
right.
Well, that's another thing too.
Yeah.
That's another thing
The
too.
axis is
Yeah.
pretty huge.
Yeah.
That's your loft.
Okay, so I'll get that to you and then you guys can decide which way you wanna go with it.
Okay,
All right, and anything? Next one is approval of the bills. Anybody have any questions or issues?
Look good.
Motion,
Motion to pay the bills.
second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Anything else for privilege of the floor?
The fence and,
Bartholomew?
yes.
I don't know, I mean, I know, they didn't have a meeting, but I know Sheila had been in contact with Chandler's attorney. They had been working things out. The company that put up the fence agreed to, at a very reduced cost, move it to the back. And where they were doing it, then they wouldn't need any variance, what they were going to do once they finally did it. So
Is this the one that was too high?
right along County Road 36.
And
Yeah.
obstructing driveways?
Yeah. Yeah, so it must be they finally,
It's all in a neat pile out back of the house.
yeah. Now, whether he's coming back, if he brings it up a certain point, like 2 panels of it might need, but it would be, the house sits like this, the panels would be at the house. But because of where the right of way is, they may be too close to the right of way, but it's way beyond where the road's up here.
Okay.
So they may be waiting to see, they may have to come back for a variance for a couple of the panels, but it wouldn't be anywhere near what they were looking for before, so.
What's the hold on?
Well, I'm sure neighbors are very happy. But
Right.
I know the contractor said it was going to get them quite a break at moving it and reconstructing it. So. All right. No one has anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
All in favor?
yes.
Aye.